At the beginning of the movie shows the hero of the movie, Park Gang. He is the most popular actor in Korea. He doesn't want to get married and enjoys a carefree life. He dates a different girl every day, has a successful career, and lives a luxurious life. This is Park's biggest goal, but even after achieving so much, he doesn't find peace. His mother also doesn't work and spends money from his earnings on world tours and expensive items. This is Jilin, Park's manager and friend since childhood. He wanted to become an actor himself, but never got the opportunity. So, he became Park's manager, and Park wins the Best Actor award. In his speech, he says he has worked very hard and sacrificed a lot to reach this position. He keeps learning something every day. Here, introduce Sumi, the movie's heroine, who is watching Park's award function on TV. Sumi is Park's ex-girlfriend, and they dated 10 years ago. However, due to some reason, they broke up, and Sumi went to New York. She has returned just now. Park is returning home with his award when Jilin insists on celebrating Christmas with his family. But Park forcefully takes him to the place where they used to drink many years ago. Jilin says that if he had also performed well in that audition, he would have been a big actor like Park today. Jilin tells Park that if you hadn't broken up with Sumi, today you both would have been a family, with kids, living happily. Sumi returned today. Upon hearing this, Park remembers how he rejected Sumi for his career 10 years ago. That's why Sumi went to New York. They come out after drinks, and Jilin puts Park in a taxi and takes him to his home. The taxi driver is delighted to have such a big actor in his taxi and asks Park that he must be very happy as he has everything in his life. But Park, after listening to the taxi driver, reveals that it's not the case. My friends, I don't even have the luxury of sleeping at night. I have to take treatment to sleep. The driver then asks if he doesn't like his life. If suddenly your life changes, consider it my Christmas gift. His words seem to be quite foolish to Park. The next morning, when he wakes up, he is in someone else's house, lying on the floor all night. Suddenly, two little children say, "Papa has wake up, Papa has wake up." As they approach him, he holds his head out of surprise and thought whose children they are. Sumi also arrives there. Park got surprised that where did they come from? Here he rushes out, unlocks his car with his key, but he could not find his Rolls-Royce car, but instead surprised after seeing his car key unlocking an old cheap car instead of Rolls-Royce. He sits in that car and goes to his high-end luxurious apartment, but his password doesn't work and it doesn't open. Then a man opens the door from inside. Park asks what he's doing in this flat. "Oh, this is my flat," the man replies. Saying this, he closes the door. Then Park goes in. Park did not realize that his life has changed now, and this is not even his flat. He asks the woman in that house that although your husband is crazy, but you must be sensible? "I'm famous actor Park Gang-ho. You recognize me, right?" he says. She gets frightened and screams. The homeowner suspects her wife of having an affair. "Did you have an affair with this man behind my back?" "No, dear. What are you saying? I'm a 100% faithful wife." In just a few seconds, Park was about to ruin a family, but luckily, the police catch him and take him to the station. There, too, he annoys the police officer saying, "Look at me carefully. I'm superstar Park Gang-ho. Don't talk nonsense. You're never going to be a superstar. Look, your wife is here." Park insists, "This isn't my wife." Sumi gets very upset hearing this. The police officer says, "I think your husband is a bit crazy. He thinks he's a big actor himself." Sumi said, "He might not be a big actor, but he does small roles in TV serials." Sumi feels very hurt by Park's words, and then Park sees a taxi. He remembers the conversation from last night. He gets very angry at the taxi driver for what he's done to his life. After thinking that taxi driver has made him meet Sumi as his Christmas gift, he gets into the car. Near the house, he talks to Sumi, but she goes inside in anger. Then his daughter comes out. Here, there's such confusion that Park doesn't even know his children's names. "Listen, baby, I lost my memory because I got hit on the head. Will you tell me your and brother's names?" "Okay, Papa, my name is Minky and my brother's name is Minku," she says, then take her father inside. Then Sumi leaves the children with Park and goes to work. Park is shocked that in this life, he's a house husband while Sumi runs the house by working. Then Park tries to find out who the taxi driver is by asking in every taxi service, but he doesn't find out anything. Everywhere people look at Park like he's crazy. Finally, Park, with frustration, goes to his therapist, whom he used to visit before. He realizes immediately that Park is an actor. Park suddenly brightens up. Well, at least someone remembers. Then the therapist said you were the side actor in TV serials, right? Hearing this, Park's brightened face falls again. Then he realizes that in his new life, Park is a TV actor. He goes home and keeps watching his serial on TV. In it, he plays the role of a ghost. He scolds the taxi driver. "You turned me into a ghost from a superstar in one night." That night, Sumi asks him, "What is your problem after all?" Park tells her everything about how he was a very big actor and living a wonderful life. Sumi laughs at his story, but restraining her laughter, she says that the driver has sent him as a gift in her life. "What's the problem with that? Don't you like me?" Sumi comes and sleeps next to him at night. Now the moments spent with Sumi come back to Park, and he tries to touch Sumi, but then he hears a lion's roar. Oh, she's snoring while sleeping. Such a morning comes. Both kids come and lie on them. Minky asks him to make her hair, and Minku asks help in dressing him. Doing all this, Park gets very tired. Park went to act in a TV serial. He gets a small role of 5 seconds. Thinking that I'll prove myself in this small role, he acts brilliantly, but the director says, "If you overact in this small role, what will the hero do? Stay in your limits, understand?" Saying this, he insults Park. Then he goes to watch a movie, but the hero of that movie is Jilin. He finds out that he's the top actor in Korea today. It's so strange how God is playing. Thinking this, he goes to meet Jilin. Despite being such a big actor, Jilin meets Park very lovingly. Both go to a restaurant and recall about their old memories. Jilin tells him that 10 years ago we both went for an audition, but you left in the middle because your girlfriend Sumi was going to New York. You left the audition to pick her up and went straight to the airport. They selected me, and today I've become such a big actor. But what's the use of being big? I don't have any family with whom I can share my happiness and sorrow. Park understands that in his previous life, he missed Sumi for his career, but now he has a chance to live with Sumi. This time, I don't want to lose Sumi. With this decision, he goes home. Sumi is their painting. In reality, Sumi is an artist, and if Park hadn't stopped her at the airport that day, she would have become a very big artist in New York. Park feels very bad thinking about this. Then he spends time with Sumi and tells her that because of me, your career ended. But she tells him that you were right. If I had left, I would have lost you. Our dear children wouldn't be here, and neither would our lovely family be formed. Career is important, but more important than that is our love. And hearing this, Park melts because Sumi loves him so much. He was understanding the dilemma between her and her career. Now he has a bigger, truer love for Sumi, and he would do anything for her. Since then, he enjoys his life with his wife and children. Now, one day Park's mother, who in his previous life was a spendthrift woman who always urged Park to earn more money, was proud of Park. But in this life, she taunts Park, "Why don't you do a decent job? Will you be a TV ghost your whole life?" Park tells her that I am going to quit the TV serial and preparing to audition for big studios. His mother doesn't convince with any of his words. She gives him some money and says, "It's your father's death anniversary. Don't forget to pay homage to him." Park finds it strange because in his childhood, his father didn't spend time with him. They were always busy with work. The next day, he goes to the cemetery with his family, but he doesn't want to go to his father's grave, and the children ask why. So Sumi tells them that if you go to your grandfather's grave, it will hurt him a lot. That's why he doesn't want to go. The children go to put flowers on their grandfather's grave. In the next scene, Park is giving auditions. His performance is the best, but instead of appreciating his talent, the people there offer him homage and say that through Park, they will convince Jilin to act in their movie. Hearing this, Park gets very angry that talent is not valued. Jilin reassures him not to worry. Next time, I will arrange an audition for you with a good director, but you would have to work for your family. Become my manager. Hearing this, Park gets very angry and leaves. Then the next day, Park takes the children to play. While playing, Minku falls down. Park didn't have any affection for the children because they were both strangers to him. But today, seeing Minku fall, he feels remorse and immediately rushes him to the hospital. When Sumi comes, she is wearing a supermarket staff uniform. Park realizes that Sumi is an art teacher, but to run the household expenses, she has to work part-time at the supermarket. Sumi had kept her conversation with Park hidden because she didn't want to pressure Park. She valued Park's dreams, but now Park cannot resist, and he immediately goes to Jilin and says, "Please make me your manager." Jilin is not just an actor, but also a good friend. He gives Park a very good salary, and in return Park also selects good scripts for Jilin. With Park's help, Jilin's performance now shines brightly. Park and his family's situation gradually improves. He is able to devote a lot of time to his family, and they start enjoying their lives to the fullest. Time passes and Jilin starts playing the role of a hero in a big drama series, but his friend's character was given to another actor. In the end, he cancels his call sheet at the last moment. Now the director is in big tension about who to give the role to. That's when Jilin suggests Park's name. Then the director takes Park's screen test and gives him the fast shot. In just one short, Park wins everyone's hearts and performs his role excellently in this series. The series is released, and Park gains many followers. Now he doesn't have a shortage of money, and his life is going very well. One day, he takes Sumi and the children to a very big restaurant. Then he takes them to a magnificent apartment and tells them that we are going to buy this house now, but Sumi doesn't like what he says. She asks, "What is lacking in our old house? Don't you like that house? If you spend more money than necessary, you will have to earn more to fulfill other needs. Our happiness will be drowned." Park argues loudly that I have sacrificed a lot to reach here. Seeing their fight, the children start crying. Park and Sumi feel very bad that they fought in front of the children. Then they both calm down. Now at night, Park cannot sleep because he made the children cry today. He doesn't know how Minky and Minku used to look in their childhood. He goes to their room and looks at their childhood photos with great affection. Sumi comes there, and they both sit outside. Sumi says, "That day you were telling me a story that you were a very big actor, had a lot of wealth, had everything, etc. Do you like that life?" Park openly says that I used to love that life before, but the day I started living with you and our children, I fell in love with you and the children. In that life, I had everything, but I didn't have a family. I didn't have love. I never learned to be peaceful, but now look, I am living peacefully. You are everything to me. Hearing his emotional words, Sumi falls asleep with tears in her eyes. Next day, Park starts having fun with the children. Park's series has almost ended, and Park has made a separate identity for himself. At the end of the final episode, Park gives a magnificent speech. Here, Sumi and the children are very happy to see him on the phone. That series receives many awards. The Best Actor award is given to Jilin. In Park's previous life, he received this award. That day, Park only talked about his hard work and sacrifices in his award speech. But today, Jilin, after winning this award, says that without Park's help, I wouldn't have received this award. I made him my manager, but he didn't work for me. He maintained our friendship. He selected the best scripts for me and gave me acting tips. In this way, he says a lot about Park. Park's eyes fill with tears. After the function, they return to the car. Park says that if I were in your place, I would only talk about my work, but you are really great, buddy. This time, Jilin says that we should know about that old place where we used to go many years ago. While driving, Jilin asks, "Why did you refuse the offer of the main role in this next series?" Park says that I will have to shoot for several months for that role, and I can't stay away from my family even for a day. Dude, they are everything to me. They are the most important. Jilin says that I feel very jealous of you for this. I also want to live a life like yours. I also want a family. Praising each other like this, they come out after having drinks. One sits in a taxi, and Park in another taxi, heading towards home. Then Sumi and the children say on video call, "Come home soon," and the kids ask him to bring a nice gift. "Oh, I forgot about the gift," Park says. Sumi says, "Don't worry. I've already bought gifts for these little devils myself. Just come home soon," and they end the call. The next second, the taxi driver asks, "How did you like my gift? Did you like it?" Park gives a shocked reaction. realizing that this is the same driver who gave him this gift of life. The driver says, "It's time for you to return to your old life." Park pleads that, "I want to stay in this life. Please, I want to live with my happy family." The driver says, "I also didn't think it was necessary to spend time with my son in the rush of work. He needed me, but I couldn't understand that. I wanted you to understand this, so I gifted you an experience of family life. This will be your last night with your family." Saying this, he drops Park at his home. Now Park is engulfed in silence. As soon as he enters the house, he embraces both children. Everyone is very happy, but Park cries because all this won't be there in his life tomorrow morning. Before going to bed, Minky says, "Dad, today your memory is back, right?" Park says, "Yes, baby. Today, I remembered everything. I love you, Papa." And she falls asleep. Park is overwhelmed with emotions. Sumi shows him a photo and says, "You used to look just like Minku in childhood." Then we realize that the taxi driver was Park's father. Perhaps his soul wanted to bring back the joy of his childhood to Park. He wanted to convey the importance of family to Park. Sumi falls asleep hugging him as usual at night, but she murmurs in her sleep that tomorrow we will go to your favorite restaurant for lunch. Okay, but we won't order expensive food. Park's eyes fill up with tears at the realization that none of this is going to happen. When he opens his eyes, he finds himself in his old life, sitting sadly. Just then, Jylan, his manager, says he has to get ready for shooting at the location. Park asks, "Last year on Christmas Day, you were saying that Sumi was here. Now, Jylan says that it wasn't last year, brother. I told you last night. Do you forget everything?" Sumi has an art exhibition, and she's returning today. The next second, Park rushes to see Sumi. Several of Sumi's paintings are displayed in the art gallery. Park keeps staring at one of her paintings for a long time. Just then, Sumi comes and asks how he got here. Park is speechless and asks, "Where did you get the inspiration for this painting?" She says, "I just put into the painting what my heart liked." Now, Park holds Sumi's hand and takes her to a place. It's the same house where Park used to live his second life, with Sumi. Sumi had imagined this house and made the painting, and seeing it here, Sumi is completely astonished. "This time, I don't want to miss you. Please forgive me," Park says. Sumi still loves Park as much, and they kiss. Then that place becomes animated and turns into a painting. They get married, and 2 years later, they have twins named Minky and Minku. Park and Sumi are now very happy with their small family, and their happiness continues with the desire to stay like this forever. The movie ends here. Truly a feel-good movie, isn't it? If you liked the video, enjoyed the story, and found the explanation good, then share it as much as possible. Like the video and subscribe to the channel. Until the next video, take care, and finally, thanks for watching.